We'll start it off with the first fight of the night. Like you said, the blockbuster 7-fight world title boxing card in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. To start off was Joshua Buatsi and Callum Smith. This fight was for Buatsi's WBO interim light heavyweight belt. Unbelievable action. Good two-way back and forth. I thought the difference in this one was Callum Smith's length on the outside and his body work on the inside. Tremendous fight. Sixth round could be round of the year contender for sure right now. Back and forth. Buatsi showed a lot of heart, a lot of determination. In the end, Callum Smith gets the win, unanimous decision. What'd you think of this fight?
But I think what I said in the preview, I think that we did a pretty good job of knocking it out of the park. I don't always do that. I swing and a miss. You get that with me sometimes, where I do whiff. But on this card, again, I know it's not the greatest matters to pat yourself on the back. I'm sorry. But, I don't have one of those things you scratch your back with. Maybe Richie, my man over here, is doing all the filming now, doing a great job. You give me one of those things, I can itch my own back, and I can use it to pat myself at the same time. But we called this card pretty good. We really did. We also had Beaver winning this one when we did the preview. Also with the fight plan that we had. If you guys watched it, you knew Beaver was going to win, and you knew why, or at least you had a pretty good idea of why, even though you might have known it already. You guys are smart. But from my perspective, we did a pretty good job. And the Buatsi-Smith fight, I actually said might be the best fight of the night. And not only was it the best fight of the night, as my son said, it's a candidate for fight of the year, early candidate. It was tremendous. And I think in that one, to be honest, I might have went with Buatsi to win because I thought his undefeated record, never having lost, would make a difference. But the way that I broke down, because I always want to be honest with this, as I'm speaking, I realize I might have picked Buatsi, but the way I broke down and previewed the fight was that Smith would give him a problem because of his experience, his resume, all the guys he's fought, and because of what you just touched on. He's got the reach, he's got the length, he's got the jab. He would be able to control the outside and be able to have an edge on the outside and then hold his own on the inside, which he did. The inside was good for both guys. Both guys like to go to the body. Both guys went to the body. Both guys engaged. Both guys looked for their spots to be aggressive. It was a back and forth. In some spots, it looked like Rock'em Sock'em Robots. But it was really the ebb and flow, because that's, if you go back to the great writers of the sport that wrote about the sport, when it was a great fight, what adjectives would they use? They would say ebb and flow. This had ebb and flow, back and forth. Each guy taking turns to take control of their moments of the fight, rounds of the fight. Again, I thought the edge was what you said. We stated that before the fight, that Smith, with his jab, he could control things on the outside, and then if he could hold his own or have an edge on the inside, he could win the fight. Again, I thought Buatsi would find a way maybe to have a little edge. Either way, I thought it would be a great fight. It was a great fight, tremendous fight. Give Smith credit. He had one foot out the door. He was thinking about retirement. He was very honest about it after better be of loss. And he didn't. He came back. He made the him and Buddy McGurk, his trainer, they were prepared. They had the right fight plan. They did a great job. The experience served him. Buatsi, 19-0 going in, undefeated, but Smith more experience. Obviously, the higher level opponents, those represented his two losses. He did have two losses, but two losses to who? To Canelo, to Beterbiev, two of the best fighters of our time right now, of this time right now. So, at the end, there's something to be said when there's a... Listen, Buatsi didn't want to lose that O. He never learned how to lose. He didn't want to lose that. That was in the air. No doubt about it. But I said this during the live streaming, and I think it was the only thing I could say was, and I said it before the first bell, was that there's something to be said when a fighter is fighting knowing that there's no tomorrow. And I think that was in the air too. That Smith knew with 2 losses, both top guys, top of the game, for all the marbles. When you lose twice and you're at the point that Smith was at, and you've lost to those 2 top guys, there's nowhere else to go but where you are now, the world title. If you can't win the world title now, it's kind of like, it's done. And when you're in a position, which he was, where he already contemplated it by saying he thought about retirement after the Better Beer fight, and then he gets this shot against Buatsi, and there's no tomorrow. There's that crossroads. This is the crossroads. This is one road goes to the world title, continuing your career. The other road goes to, what, we did the best we could. We had a good career, and it's time to move on to something else. And he chose not to move on to something else. And that was in him. That was in the air. That was in his performance. You could feel it. Being there, live and doing what I was doing, and you being there, ringside, sitting with the great Ben Amana, the owner of Box Raw that we are involved with, and we're coming out with another shirt line with him, and that he's doing more and more and more stuff in the boxing world with the garments. Just a great product. You're sitting there with him. You're sitting there with Roberto Duran. You have to feel what I'm talking about. That, it's back and forth. Where's that coming from? Well, we know where it's coming from. Buatsi. He doesn't want to give up his title. Where's it coming from? Smith, because he had to fight through certain spots where he got dinged, he got hurt, just like he hurt Buatsi. Where's that coming from? His warrior mentality, spirit, but also the urgency and the knowledge that, again, there's no tomorrow. This is it. And when there's no tomorrow and this is it, you just go a little further. You just, when you get to the point where you can't, and you think you might not be able to go anymore, or it's hard to go anymore, what do? You start scratching. You start clawing. You do anything to get a little further to that place, because that place is never going to be available again. That's the thing, it's never going to be available again. So anyway, at the end of the day, great fight. The difference was Smith just found a way to do a little bit more, control the outside, hang with him on the inside, and even beat him on the inside when he had to. Both went to the body well. Tremendous phone booth fight in the spots that they made it a phone booth fight. Everything that fans could want. Everything that fans... And I think they placed it at the right place in such a loaded card to get the fans off and the card off to a scintillating start.
Yeah, that was the perfect spot for it. Smith now 31-2, WBO interim light heavyweight champion. And the judges got it right. Unanimous decision. I thought he won the fight. The 119-110 scorecard was a little too wide for me.
Way too wide.
Yeah, for sure. But we will see what's next for Callum Smith. Maybe it's David Benavidez. While Benavidez awaits the trilogy of Better Be Even Beevil, we're hoping we'll see now. And we'll get into more of that later. And Buatsi
if that fight happens, I wonder if it would happen in the UK, because, again, I know I've said this to... I can never say it enough as far as the big British fans go. I know that. I cannot. But probably the Mexican, Irish, American, everyone else fans, Puerto Rican, they're probably sick of me saying this. But the UK fans, not that the others don't, but they come out. They come out. And... as I say, when I die, I want to come back as Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren. I want, because you guys, the fans over there, are going to make me very, very wealthy. And because you do come out. I wonder if that fight, I think it would make sense as far as business-wise for it to be over in the UK, because of what I just said. Smith being so, loved over there, beloved, as all the all the English fighters are by the fans over there. So I wonder where it would be. The geography of that would be interesting if it would have to be or make sense to be over there. But either way, that would be a good fight too.